It's Ronnie, and welcome to Off the Board with Pineapple Papers, where we all pull a pin off one of our boards on Pinterest and use it for inspiration to create our layout. And I'm pulling layout so far. That's my plan anyway. And I got this one, and you are probably all thinking, gears! Oh, that's what did it. Yeah, it was. It was pinned by Carol Loftus and was on her board, but it led nowhere. So I don't know who actually made it. Maybe she did. Maybe she posted some that she did. And this is the photo I'm going to scrap. And yeah, it went by too fast. I need to slow down there. And this I made ahead of time. I was playing around and made a shadow box. So it has foam tape behind pieces and actually 3 layers there. And one of the pieces was from a 6x8 piece of paper. And I'm only going to use one there, and it's C. I couldn't resist. And I pulled out my fishnet die. It's by Studio Light. And I don't know if I have gears that's actually in this collection, but I have the larger gears I had in there because I had extra in there. I'm going to use this compass. And the place I planned for it, I messed up. And I messed up with these letters. These are diamond press, and this is a set they had on HSN. You got 4 for 1 price. And I got mine off of eBay for like 20 some dollars less than HSN. And so they must have had a clearance or something. Anyway, I looked before I started the video and they still had one. So if anybody wants the set, just mention down there and I'll give you the link where it's at on eBay. And I'm using scraps and branding strips, which, can be scraps sometimes. But these are awesome. So I'm really looking forward to using them both. And see that white piece of corrugated paper? I'm not going to end up using it. So I didn't show the part where I put ink and splatters and sprays on it. Now, since that looks like an old sea captain in the photos, I thought I would distress my edges with that close to my heart edge distressor. And make everything look older. And I using my T-square ruler. I use it a lot anyway and cut it out, but since I had so many things I was using it for, I left it in this time. I cut some apart of the pieces so they'd be a little bit longer. I had the whole piece of the diagonal because it was 12 by 12 to start with, and I cut a little off. But see, look at, I used the only dark blue spray I had, and it was Blueprint Sketch maybe. And it looked blue when I was putting it on there. It looked very dark blue. But by the time I pulled it back over after letting it dry, it looked purple when I laid it with everything else. So, of course, it was not going to go. I thought about doing it over, but I just don't have anything else that I think might really work. Unless maybe I pulled out some close to my heart and figured out a way to use it on there. But, yeah, I just gave it up. I have got plenty of layers anyway. Yeah, I got a lot. And look at me there. I went under one and over the other. I will notice it in a minute. And I was showing there that I cut that piece off. And that's why it's as thin as it is, because it's all I had, to get it that long. But I am going to kind of overlap it anyway. Well, no, I think I just go ahead and, no, I guess I do make it a little bit longer. Thought for a second there, it looks long enough. It goes on each side of the photo, but apparently I wanted it longer. And I'm just going to put the pink there at the edge. We'll kind of go under and so that it can go on there. And if I had been thinking, I would have cut that diagonal off. I would have cut it in half too, so I could save part of it because, that's one of my favorite papers. I bought extra of it. And I love this branding strip here. So I'm trying to make sure it's showing at the edge of the photo so you can actually see it going through there. Some of it's going to be covered up, but you're going to get to see more than you would have if I'd gone underneath the photo. Now, the original layout has 2 photos, which, that's the reason I made the shadow box, but it just didn't look like right putting it by the photo. I tried it when I made it. I laid it beside it, and I thought, no, that's just not going to work out. So I am going to put it to the bottom left. However, in my head, I had the picture up higher or shorter or something because it's kind of cramped where I end up putting it. But it made it. It made it on there. But I had more space in mind, more real estate on this 12 by 12 paper than in actuality. This is the only piece that I did not distress because it was going along the edge there, and I knew the other piece, well, I'd only distressed one side of it. And since they were laying side by side instead of on top of each other, I wanted them to be a little bit smoother on that side. And I put them there because of the hinge on my portal there. I'm really enjoying the portals in this collection. I had a lot of fun making that. It took me a while because like I did the paper and I cut the tree in half and kind of curved it when I put it on there, which I cut it straight so I could use part of it on my layout, but I curved the part that went on there. And then of course the flamingo, and then I put some greenery by the flamingo and then the seashells on top of that. So I have 3 layers there. Well, 4 if you count the background. So I went to put the compass up there where I had planned for it, and it hit me, I don't have my title. Well, these letters did not seem that big to me. And yeah, I was thinking 2 lines. I don't know why. I mean, like I said, I had a lot more real estate in my head pictured. But I kind of got my S and A really close together. And then after I did the, I guess, pictures and everything, I was done anyway. I added liquid glue under some of them that was curling up a bit. They had adhesive, double-sided adhesive on them, but I don't know if it's the humidity, which, I got an alert on my phone to really be careful, drink plenty of fluids, and stay cool because the humidity was so high. So it might be that, but now it's glued down. And there's no way. My compass is going over there, so it's making it to the right-hand side. So I will be covering up a little bit, of my branding strip that I really love. But I do have 2. So I will plan on using the other one. I am adding a cluster here, and I found some more seashells. Well, they were on the 12 by 12 packaging, and so I fussy cut them out. They're bigger, and I thought I'd use them on this layout since they were so big. And so y'all get to see it again. And I'm getting tired of using the same old stuff. I might have to stop and spread this out over 2 months or something, or a little longer, and do a few other things here and there in between getting this album done. We'll see. But when I do an album, well, not every time. I did one for my grandson for DC, Washington, DC, and I used different things on different pages depending on what it was. But this one I bought everything the same to go with it, so the whole thing would be the same and would be island vacation Hawaii kind of thing, at the beach. But because there's only so many things will go with Hawaii. And let's see, what am I doing here? Oh, I pull both sides off on my dimensional tape when I'm doing a circle or anything round because it's so much easier to go around it. So the rest of that has no adhesive on either side, so I will have to use it on something that's going to go on wax paper. And I'm adding my gears. You knew I was going to get them on here. They were in the original layout, and you knew I was going to get them on here. So there's a treasure there of seashells and gears. And yeah, I had fun putting them on there. And I did use Craft Consortium. The I think the one that I used was, oh, it's the one that has more blues and greens in it. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's rusty looking. Patina, that's it. I think it's a patina one. But I tried to cut these out. When I cut them out, they've been cut out a while, where I'd have rust and patina on there. So you can see the patina on there and not just have all rust or all patina. And I am just placing them around the layout. Let me look at my layout. I think after that, I don't have much left to go after I get them on there. I I'm going to add some sequins, and they are from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and they're called In the Woods. So they have like wood grain on them. They're sparkly still, but they have wood grain, lighter and darker wood grains, and of course different sizes too. But they're not. I think they were intended more for a masculine look, so I'm using them on this layout. But isn't that sailor cute? Every time uh, several members of my family, I have not done it yet. I'm busy taking photos usually, but I wasn't with them. Uh, See a mannequin or wax figure, they're going to have to take a photo with them. So, yeah, he's on there and uh, got this really cute sea captain. And so my title is It's a Sailor's Life for Me. I think it's originally was like It's a Pirate's Life for Me. And so it's been going through my head, and all of a sudden while I was doing the editing, I thought, oh, it's a pirate's life. But I'm thinking I'm going to go back and put some music notes on there so they'll know it was a song. And I see if they remember it should have been Pirate's Life. It took me a while, several hours actually, but I did remember It's a Pirate's Life for Me. And I really racked my brain for a title. All I could come up was "Aye, aye, Captain," and I wasn't really caring for that. I really wanted to put these stars on here because I was thinking a uniform, stars, on the uniform. These look kind of rustic, and I used my scissor to distress that, and I cut the little one side off on the dovetail, so I had to make a new one. And it's not perfect, but it's there. And this time I used my fingernails because I wasn't about to use my scissors. Now I had a plan to put on the upper right hand corner coming off of one of those papers and put two of them there. But my compass ended up there. So I'm having a hard time deciding where I want to put them. So they're going to end up in two different spots. I like this one there at the top, but then I thought, well, I'll try the bottom for the other one. And I'm looking at it, and I finally thought, well, why not go the other direction? It won't hurt to go the other way, and I'll have them both on there since I already cut them off. And forgot that my place was not available anymore. I still had that other piece of fishnet, so I'm kind of tucking it in and looking like, it's still all one big piece if you don't look too close. And just go over the top of the other little banner. And there was this half of gear laying there, so of course it's going on there. Otherwise, I have to pull the packaging out and put it back in the packaging with the other pieces. And here's those sequins. They're pretty dark. They when I was editing, I was thinking they look black on the editing, but they are wood grain and different shades of brown. Some are darker than others, but they are all sparkly, like I said, and they're really pretty. And so I'm just putting them all in there. And that's it. I think I'm done with my layout on this. And I had a lot of fun doing it, especially since I had the gears to look forward to. But yeah, that's a number, it's I think number 5 for my album. So yeah, I'm moving right along. I'm thinking there will be at least 20 pages. So when I pin this, I thought I'd probably be doing it in similar colors and a brick wall behind there. But, well, paper. But my colors are completely different. And there's my shadow box. Well, I guess if you count the star and gear, it's even more layers. I wanted the portal on there because of the sea captain. And I thought, what am I going to do with it? I don't want a shaker. And I don't have 2 photos. And I didn't want to cut that one down because I didn't think all 3 faces would fit in there. And so, yeah, well, I guess I could have printed it smaller, but it was already printed. So the shadow box is how it ended up. Thank you all so very, very much for joining me while I created my layout. And make sure you check out that playlist down there below and have fun with Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. Bye!